first comes the acts of courage. Then what follows later is the feelings of self-confidence. Hi, my name is Uriel Mesa, and I'm with KTSLifeCoaching.com. And I just had a thought, and I just want to share it with you. So, for me, it has been my experience that when I started to develop more self-confidence, it was only because I first developed the courage to try things, to go places, to put myself in situations that were very uncomfortable. And I'll be honest, it was not fun, but what came out of it was more or greater self-confidence. And what's interesting is when you develop self-confidence, it bleeds into all aspects of your life. So for me, it bled into relationships, it bled into my work life, it bled into my social life, and even just for me, for my own well-being. So I'm going to give you an example of developing self-confidence. This might be a bit of an extreme example, but I'll talk about it anyway. When I had turned 50, I had told myself I was going to go to Mexico, and I went, and I told myself I was not going to say no to anything. So was deathly afraid of heights. We went ziplining, and these zip lines some of them are 14 stories high, and I was absolutely terrified. In fact, when they put the harness on me, I was the guy that held up the line. And I almost told the guy right before I started the zip lining that I can't do this. What happened was, right before I told the guy that I can't do this, I looked behind me, and there was probably a woman who was probably in her 70s, who couldn't have been no more than 5 foot even, with her granddaughter, who was probably about the same height, and they were ready to go. So I thought, okay, if they go, I'm going to go. And the only thing that brought me a little bit of comfort, and I know this sounds weird, but I figured that if I fall, I will probably not survive the fall. And I was hoping that I would hear a choir of angels, if I do fall. Anyway, I forced myself to go. I did it, and I landed on the platform perfectly. And I thought, okay, great, I did it. I don't have to do this again. And so I asked the people when I was on the platform, where do I go from here? They said, you have about 11 more platforms to go. And I thought, you got to be shitting me here. Anyway, long story short, I did it. I went through it. And what was strange is I actually felt, when I was done, like a completely different person. So I was forced to go through it, and I went through it. And I started to notice, this was months later, I was also terrified of spiders. Well, I noticed that my phobia of spiders seemed to almost completely diminish, completely disappear. My fear of heights seems to be more, I'm still a little nervous about them, but I've noticed I'm not as terrified as I was before. So where am I going with this? What I did is I accomplished something that I never thought I would ever do. And I felt the thoughts that came into my head were, if I can do this, what else can I do? What else am I capable of doing? What's another issue that I might have that I will go through it and come out better on the other side? So I started challenging myself. Every time I realized I had another issue, I just hit it head on, and I'd figure it out when I got to the other side. I started to develop an incredible amount of confidence. So this is just one example of one of the things that I did. Before going through all this stuff, I had done other things. I put myself in uncomfortable situations, as I said before. And again, for the most part, things turned out better than I thought they would. So again, if you challenge yourself, force yourself to go through some of these uncomfortable situations, be okay with the outcome. Don't be married to it. Just be okay with whatever happens, and start to notice what happens to you. Start to notice how you view yourself, how your confidence level starts to increase. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. And just to remind you again, what comes first is the courage, the of how do I say the courageous act to do something. And then what follows is the feelings of confidence. You don't just become confident instantly. You first have to go through the challenging situation. Anyway, thank you so much. Again, my name is Uriel Mesa and I'm with KTSLifeCoaching.com. Thank you.